What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're going to take a look at one that we unboxed not long ago. And this is, of course, the The Origin Bugu. This is Rumbaral's version. I don't know if there are any other Bugus, to be honest. I think there was a P. Bandai Bugu. I could be wrong. Kind of getting tired of saying the word Bugu. But either way, it is a big blue suit, very reminiscent of something between a Zaku and a Goof. So, I mean, it is what it is. And it is the MS-04 Bugu. So, MS-06 is a normal Zaku, so it is what it is. Of course, you got Zaku ones back here. Of course, this is from an actual episode of the anime. And they're fighting, I believe it was on the moon. I could be wrong. You even got Char Zaku back here. You got HG Gundam, the Origin there. Oh, the good things. Bandai 2016. So I'm a little late to the party on this one. I really do like the box art here, though. It looks really, really cool. Of course, the blue things is probably going to hopefully not mess my white balance up too much with my new lighting, which this is the first video with my new lighting setup. So let's just continue to look at the box right quick. So we come to the bottom, and you have the obligatory front and rear shot there, and you get a whole read-up on all the thing there, along with Rumbaral. I'll leave it on screen for a second. Pause it if you want to go ahead and read that. And of course, here we have a Gundam Origin, Eve of Destiny, GundamOrigin.net. Just that whole quick read up right there on how the origin story works, I believe. And on this side, you got BandaiHobby.net. And then you got repeated box art and all the things you're always used to seeing. And on the final side, you've got action! Machine gun for mobile suit. All this, that, and the other. You got gimmicks, you got markings, you got weapons, hand parts. You got shoulders that can do things, you got heads that can do things. You got warning, Bugus are bad for 3-year-olds' faces. And then you've got polybag plastics there. You've got 1,700 yen, decently affordable kit. And illustration is by Yuta Otani, Planeta. It's actually one of my favorite artists, to be honest. And, yeah, good job. It looked good, even upside down. Look, you can see my new lights. Probably going to work on that. So, either way, no build montage for this guy, sadly. So we're going to go ahead and go straight into the review. Alright, guys, here we have the Bugu, all nice in blue and done, and looking really, really nice. And you can definitely tell the Zaku influences. So, I mean, this thing, I guess, reading it up, it's before the Zaku one. So, it's not quite a goof, but it's definitely got the Zaku stuff happening to it. You can tell by the hoses, the armor, the chunkiness of the legs, and the arms, and everything like that is very, very Zaku-like. And, of course, being Rumbaral, it's all blue. I really do dig it. You guys are definitely going to notice the major difference here from a lot of other people's, and of course just the standard version. All my pipes are copper, and you guys can thank that to good old GUNPLA fan 15, or Nicholas Shupp as he is known, because he did his this way, and I'm like, that looks really, really cool. And I did talk about it in the unboxing. Even did these little plates right down here for whatever they are. Those got some nice copper treatment there as well. And I did just use my Tamiya copper paint and took a couple coats. It's very difficult to paint on top of soft stuff. Believe me, the soft plastic that entails from that is pretty ridiculous, if I'm honest. But this was actually a pretty fun build. I actually liked it. It's only one of the second Origin Origin Xeon suits I've done. The first being one of the first videos I've ever done on the channel. Good old Dom test type. And you can see this thing definitely shares some pieces and parts, or at least very, very similar design. Forms and stuff like that. And of course the chest. You can see, of course, a lot of things are going to be very similar between the two, but very, very different kits as it goes. But that's just that. And yeah, he does come with the obligatory Origin style markings for everywhere. So you got warnings near any of the thrusters, all this stuff back here. Nice Xeon logo on there. Warnings on the tips of the elbows, which is just absurd. I'm surprised it didn't come with the warnings right down here on the feet like normal. By the way, I painted the thrusters underneath because, you know, why not? It's got the big number 31 right there with actually... I can't quite read that. It's a little too tiny for my old eyes. Even the camera's not quite sure. But if you can read that, let me know. Big 31 sticker over here. Now, this one is, of course, a problem going over a multi-curved surface, so that's a pain in the butt. All the other ones are actually pretty good, not gonna lie. You also get the cool eye gimmick on this guy. He actually does have the geared eye. Now, unfortunately, when I was trying to straighten it out, it was mildly crooked, and then I tried to straighten it out, and while assembling it, it didn't want to go back together between the neck joint and the bottom of the head. I was having problems, and then when I finally got it to go back on, it actually is off by a tooth, so it can turn really well to the left, which is fine for posing, but it does actually move left to right. You do also get a non-commander fin version if you do want to have that for a helmet, so that's up to you. Now, this guy probably needed a touch of paint here and there, like these vents right inside here probably could have used a little bit of my favorite is dark gray. Same thing with these little dinks up here, maybe even some of these little buttons around the way. All could have used a touch of gray, but, you know, I was trying to get through this as quick as I could, if I'm totally honest with you guys. Now, let's go ahead and talk accessories, because he does have a few. Let's scooch him out there a little bit. Also thinking I probably need to get some brighter lights in here. I know that sounds dumb, but I went with 40 watts. I think I need to go with 60 watts. Now, first and foremost, you get his shield. So, very basic shield. We've probably seen this before. Big, hefty dude. The arm mount is on a little slider. The hand is actually, or handhold is actually a fixed position. Big 31 sticker, little marking stickers around there to clip on. Very simple, like you do almost every other suit. You do have just a slot right in the back of the arm. You just kind of aim that tab for it, and it spring locks into place. Now, you can leave this hand off the shield handle if you really want to. Excuse the dumpster outside, it's that time of day. But you can also go ahead and use this to your advantage. And the hands are the better HG hands. They're not great, but they're better. So you can totally, you know, lock him down right there on that shield. It looks really good, especially when he turns his head. Funny thing is, if the eye mechanic part didn't really move, you wouldn't be able to do as many dynamic looks because the head is fairly limited. We'll talk about that in, of course, in articulation. Now, you do get two axes. One is storage mode, one is being held mode. And you can see the differences in the blades right through there. So I guess this is the ignited version. And you can also see the difference in the handle. And yeah, I added some copper to the pipes. Very simple. Now, the hand just holds it like you do. No big deal. The storage mode has a big plug on the back right through there. So you can store it on the butt like so, or if you're inclined, you can put it here on the side, just depending on what you want to do with it. I kind of like it on a butt skirt. I always thought the Heat Hawks are tiny. Like, they look so much bigger in a lot of the movies and anime, but they're actually not very big. Tiny little axe thing. So I like the super oversized one. Alright, so you also get kind of an expressive, or actually a bit more relaxed left hand. So if you want to pull the shield off, you can be like, come with me. Come with me if you want to live. Or, in this case, stand against me if you want to die. That's actually that's a pretty good pose there. I kind of dig that. Alright, he also comes with stuff for the other hand, because of course he does. You do get the obligatory machine gun, and we have definitely seen this one before. Is what it is. Multi-piece plastic. Handle flips up and does come with the nice trigger hand, so I'm not complaining about that at all, except that it's at a weird kink. That part I dislike. So you can get him in a decent pose like this. He's like, you've got to be kidding me. Why is it that when I move my hand, it doesn't know what to do? Now for another quick comparison. Let's bring him in with the things that, well, he kind of kicked the snot out of. Origin gun tank. So he spent not a whole lot of time in that episode really kicking the crap out of a squad of these. I said gun tank. I'm sorry, gun cannons. Yeah, he brutalized these just by himself. So these guys were no match for Rumbarao in this guy. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do articulation. It's pretty simple. The head is not really on a ball joint. It's stuck up inside there on the geared peg, of course. So you can rotate it. The pipes get in the way, so you're not getting a whole lot of rotation. Definitely not going all the way around. Now it's on kind of a hinge down at the bottom. I think it's a hinge in a ball joint, so you can really look down. And you can look kind of back or more or less straight. Tuck the chin in if you need to. And like I said, turn it that way for I can see you. By the way, it comes with two different eyes, I think. Oops, I forgot that was back there. You have this kind of faded eye, and I think you have a solid eye as an option, or you can always paint it. I actually dug the slightly glowy eye. The shoulders are captured ball joint type. So you've got the standard polycaps that actually lift upward in a butterfly to give you some upward shrug. You can go a little bit further than that, but then it looks a little weird if you have the armor kind of tucked back, so like that. But you also have some nice supplemental butterfly movement here in the chest, so you can open and close this a little bit. I like that. It's just a subtle change. You have rotation at the shoulders like you do. You can go all the way around. You also get the shoulder itself does move, and you can kick the armor out of the way so it can reach out to about there with the armor in the way. But of course, you can rotate it to bicep and move everybody around and maybe get a decent... I'm trying here. He's a little stiff. He's not getting a, like, reach into the sky teacher. He's more like a, hey, hi there, I'm Bugu. Okay, so we saw bicep rotation already. Fairly stiff joint, I can dig that. You do get double jointed elbow, which is nice. Weird kind of gappagedness going on here. I like how it exposes the joint decently. So you can actually do a pretty good thing there. The center torso is on a couple different joints. So you get, like, I think a double ball joint. So one at the top, one at the bottom. Because you can see the inner armor moving around on its own. He can come back a bit like that. He can lean forward, throw it just in place. The hoses definitely hinder rotation and stuff like that, so he's not going very far around, but he can get a decent pose. Front skirts, you don't have to worry about splitting those. They are split. Side skirts are all part of the back, so you don't have to worry about that, though they don't really move very much at all. So it is what it is. Actually, you know what? I might be wrong. I think I did have to split these, but definitely do it. Oh, by the way, I panel lined everything in blue. I don't think I mentioned that. You can use blue, you can use gray, whatever. I actually prefer to use blue on blue kits. That's just me. Now, the hips are the slide forward type, I believe. Yeah, they are. But it's not wanting to... There it goes. Okay, so you can kick the hips forward so you can really sit on his booty, or kick it back just a little bit like so he can kick forward, almost a perfect straight Spartan kick. Boof. Poof. He's also got thigh rotation, like so. Kick it out a little bit, and you can go all the way around, but why would you? You do get a double jointed knee, although it's not going to go very far because you hit right at 90 degrees on the armor. And the pipe does limit you. And also be careful when you're articulating it because you might accidentally just kick the pipe out. Because it is only held in place there through positioning of the leg, to be totally honest. And you can see already some of the copper is worn off to a degree, but that's okay. It adds sort of a weathered effect to it. You got ball joint forward feet. You do actually have separate toes, front and rear, but I'm having a hard time getting them to articulate. But you can see that they're moving to a degree. So it is what it is. You're not going to get a ton of movement. You're not going to get a really wide A stance, but you can get something. But either way, he looks pretty cool for a big old football player, essentially. You can see how this was sort of laying the groundwork for the bigger, better kits later on, at least in my opinion. Alright, guys, so for final thoughts. Alright, guys, so for final thoughts, I really do dig this kit. Now, out of the box, it is a little too blue for me. I think it does need a little bit of something to break it up, even though it does come in just mildly two different blues, but it's essentially all the same. But it's very nice. Great addition to the Origin line, of course, showing off that it definitely beat down some of the other kits, no problem. I like it. I can't wait to build a lot more Origin kits. Hopefully I can get my hands on some Zaku's, because that's just the thing, isn't it? You have to have Zaku's, right? Right. Kind of wish they had a better axe holding hand. Now, the articulation is a little bit limited. Part of me thinks that that's just sort of a design, kind of how, it's an older design, so maybe that's just why that it works. I mean, in universe, not from the, obviously not from the HG line, that's not older, but I think it is a little bit more in articulation, but details are great. The kit itself going together is really, really great. And as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of huge nub areas, so it does clean up very, very nicely. So definitely suggest that. Also suggest the gun cannon too, but the stickers kind of suck. But that's going to be it for this review, guys. If you want to see a little bit of behind the scenes, go ahead and check out the Life of Shoky vlogs. Also, if you want to help support the channel a little bit, and maybe even dictate some of the things I do, kind of like this kit was in fact a Patreon pick, go ahead and check out the Patreon right here on the screen. And of course, if you want to get any Shoky merch to help keep the channel rolling, right here as well. And if this is out before the end of May, you know that this will go towards the Lupus for Lupus charity. But yeah, so I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on Bugu.